Alright, welcome back to Chainsaw Man. Time to rev it up. Anime review episode number 10. Yes. Yes, I know it's been 2 weeks since last episode came out. You're probably curious though. Nick, are you reviewing a new episode of the dub that came out the day they came out? Yes. This is probably the first time in a while this has happened. And probably the first time in, I'd say, 2 months, I'd say. I actually get work on a brand new episode of an anime, uh, one of these other ones. That's not like watching that ones the same day. And I actually get it done the same day it comes out, which is awesome. So this is for you in the 10th episode of the Chainsaw Man anime, Battered and Bruised. This covers chapters 29 and 30, and the first 18 of 19 pages of chapter 31. So, I have heard apparently that this season does cover the rest of the Katana arc. Also, apparently starts adapting chapter 52 for some reason. I don't know why. And 52 is 9 from this arc. No, it isn't. 52 is actually from a completely different arc. That is from the Bomb Girl arc. Yeah, for some reason they decided to adapt it. They have like one page of it for some reason. I'm not sure why. So, but this is the aftermath of the last episode. Now, one thing this episode I praise for is Power is back. Yay, it means Sarah gets a chance to prepare a character again. I'm just like, oh man, my character's not here this episode. Despite the fact the credits show her, but she's not in last week's episode because she ran away. And they reference that this episode. So Aki in the hospital, after the previous 2 episodes, and you see that Power and Denji are there. Denji has his feet on Aki's bed, and of course eating one of the apples. Power has had this crazy thing like, oh, I want an apple. It's just thinking how close these two are, and then of course they're arguing. Of course he starts waking up. And then, I had something itch, so there's that. So, most of the scene is very similar with the manga, and then of course, basically, like after they leave, just before the next 2 people come in, he does basically talk to his cursed sword, and he asks Sword how much time does he have left of his life, and the curse says 2 years. Yeah. And here to come and basically be his coaches. They debuted just last episode, and basically they're here to basically take him to an underground prison where they capture devils alive, and then they pretty much walk into the hallway. They want to form a new contract, something more useful to the team, where basically he forms a contract with, of all things. But before they walk in, there's a couple things there's a few things I should mention. Number one, he starts crying after Denji and Power leave. Then Denji he's back his manga. Can't get back his manga back. And then after the 2 come in, then of course this pretty woman comes in, which Aki is asked by that. And apparently this was his partner's sister. Yep, his partner's sister. Yeah, Himeno's sister. Yep. Yeah, and then of course, oh yeah, they actually have, well, that apparently she was in her letters that she was actually, well, oh, I should also mention that there's a bit of crying a lot of this episode. Yeah, and of course he remembers the reason why he's crying because he remembers Himiko dying in the last episode, actually it's 2 episodes back. Yeah, and they reveal the letters that apparently, based on what her sister gave him, that his partner was in love with him. His partner was a woman, mind you, very beautiful woman, despite having an eye patch. Yeah, and also, she was the first person Denji could call a friend who he's not in love with. There's a very good scene with her and about her. And there's a later that, with letters, it's based on the dialogue. Yeah. After he finds out his partner's with him, and of course that scene ends. Then, of course, his whole thing in the episode ends with him seeing the future devil. Of course, you mentioned the previous two people who made contract with him, this creature. One offered half his lifespan. The other one offered to give up their senses of taste and smell, along with their eyeballs for some reason. And what is he going to give this future devil? Good question. Meanwhile, though, Power and Denji just basically walk off to a cemetery with Mikima, who's only in one scene the entire episode. No, seriously, one scene and she's done. Basically, to go back to the cemetery, they just show in the flashback last episode, with, of course, the old man who's there. His name is Kisbe. Yes, Kisbe's here. Yeah, he only just made his debut in the anime, just like in a flashback, back episode 5. Yeah, that's when he first showed up. So basically, he trains Denji, and his job is to train Denji in power. And the first thing he does is gives him a bunch of answers, good answers, and then he proceeds to break their necks. And then when they collapse to the ground, we have where Power's got her head near Denji's groin. And of course, I think it's Power, perfectly fine. And then, of course, they beat him some more. And then the very next day, that she attacks him with blood. Well, first they attack him with a hammer blood. Like, good. Like, and of course, apparently the whole thing is like attacking him to be stronger by attacking him. First the hammer, and the next day, blood spears. First to the door, and then, like 5 bottles. Apparently, Power took time to fill up. These look like 5 empty water bottles. She filled with blood and basically turned it into a weapon. And it didn't exactly work. He didn't beat him. And of course, Denji try to use a tomahawk to try to take him out, but doesn't work. And of course, basically, he walks off, and of course, he gets stabbed in the head. And of course, also, he does mention that after he gets stabbed by him, man, Denji's immortal, and Power is simply immortal. Basically, these two can't die. Yep. And as far as I can tell, that's pretty much it for the episode. It's definitely a good episode. You're probably thinking, wait, it's called Chainsaw Man. He doesn't turn into a Chainsaw Man? Yeah, he also does in episode 2 as well. So this is the first time since episode 2 he does not transform at all. There's no transformation. There's no fight sequence in the episode. Most of this one is just an added episode of the previous 2 and try to progress forward. And you might be curious though. Last episode, Denji got chopped in half. And here he's perfectly fine. Okay, that actually, there was a bit of explaining with that one. Where I think it was just a couple episodes back. I think just prior to the Katana Man. Where after he got his arm chopped off by the Bat Devil's girlfriend. They were treating, of course, grow it back. That's presumably what happened here, but there's no mention of it. Did the manga cut it out? No, it just basically is like a series 2. Also, the episode does cut out a scene where you have Denji and Power walking on a road. Okay. I don't mind episodes like this. It's just the whole point of this episode is just a character episode. There's a little bit of action here, but not like big, heavy devil action. You can kind of think of it as maybe like Calm Before the Storm before Denji has his rematch with the Katana Man, which for some reason the anime referred to as the Samurai Man, even though his name is the Katana Man. Yeah. But yeah, pretty good episode. And of course, hopefully next week I can actually do the next one on time. Now, as of currently, there are 2 more episodes left to go for the entire season. Now, they've not confirmed a season 2 yet for Chainsaw Man. I hope they do. Because, of course, they only have the first 38 out of 116 chapters. So, yeah, there's still plenty left for season 2. Or second current, depends upon the studio who makes Chainsaw Man. Now, in the case of the other anime I'm watching, next one won't be until Friday. So, the only thing you'll get next couple of days is mostly Kamen Rider and maybe Comic Corner too. That's mostly you'll probably get for reviews-wise for tomorrow and for Thursday. Friday is probably going to be more Kamen Rider and maybe Comic Con and Bleach. Saturday, of course, hopefully we return to the other shows. Though other shows, while airing on Saturday, two of whom also wrap up really soon. I believe Uzo was saying I think that one's got three. After this week, I have 2 more episodes left to go. And I think Spy X Family will have 1 more left. So, basically about this time next week, well, at least by next weekend anyways, basically at this point, 2 weeks from now, that's basically when both this one, along with Uso was hanging out, those 2 wrapped up within 2 weeks. But basically by 2 weeks from Saturday, Spy X Family will be done. For now, until when they air season 2. But you'll hear more on thoughts of that later on, okay? Next video. Bye.